So I got 5 companies that I just did a crap ton of research on that I think we can make a lot of money in 2026 on them. Some of the plays are going to be bullish, some of the plays are going to be bearish, but at the end of the day, I'm here to make money. So whether stock goes up or down, we're going to capitalize on that move whatever way it makes sense to do. So let's head over to the charts. We'll look at stock number 1, and that's going to be Adobe. I just pulled myself down a little bit here. And, let's just look at the 5-year chart just to see how the stock is doing, because it's been on a crazy decline here in the last 5 years, down roughly 30%, which is absolutely insane. And if we just go to all right here and zoom this out a little bit, it's like, holy cow, look at this big pump of Adobe, blow off top, went way down, went straight up, went straight down. In my opinion, I do think that we're going to see a similar move that happened right here for what's happening right now. So stock went up a lot, came down, stock went up a lot, came down. I do think that the stock is going to catch a pretty sharp rebound. Now, if we head over and check out the fundamentals, this is why everybody is nervous about Adobe. They're worried about the earnings per share going down because, hey, AI is a big thing right now. Everybody's worried about it. Maybe it's going to erode their moat. Companies like Canva or whoever else is going to take over Adobe's business. In my opinion, that's just not going to happen. And I see Adobe as a company that's kind of like, remember United Health when we were talking about that one on this channel a lot in the past? And for example, United Health, like I just closed out like $60,000 worth of profits on it, and I still have a lot of positions open. So do I think that Adobe is a table pounder like United Health was? In my opinion, it's pretty dang close because again, look at the numbers, look at the earnings per share growth. Like this chart right here, this is a 5-year chart showing you that Adobe is down roughly 30% in 5 years. So what did the earnings per share do since 2021? Because earnings per share is the number one thing that moves the price of a stock in the long term. From 2021, we're at like $12 a share. 2026 estimated we're at like $24 a share. So earnings per share is doubling, but the stock is down 30%. That is an inefficiency in the market, in my opinion, and we're probably going to have to capitalize on it. Maybe sell some puts, maybe buy some calls, maybe buy some shares, or maybe do a combination of all of that right there. I personally do have some plays open right now. I'm probably going to do a few more plays, but I just want to keep my ratios in check and not get too over leveraged on this one because, again, the overall market is very expensive right now. So if the S&P and or the NASDAQ starts to fall, all these companies are probably going to go down with it. But keep in mind, there's 5 companies right here. 3 of the 5 are going to be bullish plays. Adobe's obviously a bullish play. 2 of the 5 are going to be bearish plays, meaning I think they're going to go down in price. We're either going to buy puts, maybe we'll short it, but I'm probably just going to buy puts on them because they're clearly bubbles and I clearly think they're going to crash. The stocks are going to go down a lot. So again, like I'm here to make money, you're here to make money. Whether we go up or down with the share price, we're just here to capitalize on that move. So again, Adobe earnings per share growth looks great. Again, this is estimated, but I do believe that the estimations are going to be correct. And if we head over to revenue, it's not like they're making more money somehow, but the revenue's not going up. Like, look at this clear trend right here of revenue growth. And the CEO of Adobe was just on CNBC the other day, and he was talking about, look, we are buying back so much stock right now because we feel like our stock is very undervalued. So just think about it. Like when you have extra money within a company, you could pay a dividend, you could buy back stock, or you could just go acquire another company. They're like, look, the best ROI that we could give our shareholders right now is to simply just buy back the stock because we feel like it is cheap, it's undervalued, we're doing a service to our shareholders. And when they buy back stock, that is going to make earnings per share go up because there's just simply less shares out there in the open market. And when you divide the same profits by less shares, the earnings per share will go up. So that is a very bullish tailwind for Adobe. Again, I think the moat's going to be fine. I don't think Canva and AI is going to wipe them out in the next couple years. Maybe 10 or 20 years down the road, that could happen. But in the short term, like under 5 years, I think we're going to be just fine to buy calls, buy shares, sell puts. I think we're going to do good on this one here. Now let's move into the next one, and it's going to be Amazon. They just reported earnings. They're knocking it out of the park. The earnings were great. Take a look at this jump right here that just happened. Let me flip this to like a 1-month chart. Look at this big pump that just happened right here on Amazon. The stock went up roughly 10% in one day. Not too bad, but it was honestly justified in my opinion because it kind of just blew earnings out of the water. Now, if we look at what it did in the last 5 years, this is what a lot of people don't understand. Amazon is up roughly 56% in 5 years, but there are some things we have to talk about. So let me get myself out of the way. Let's talk about the revenue first. You can see the revenue is clearly up and to the right, looking good, but here's what some people are worried about on Amazon, and that's going to be capital expenditures. From 2024 to 2025, notice this massive jump of roughly $70 billion to $120 billion of capital expenditures. And why is this happening? It's happening because they're building out their AI data centers. But once they get to where they want to be, they don't have to spend as much money because they're just simply not starting from square one every single time. So you can see for 26 and 27, they're not expected to grow as much, like it's almost a double from here to here, but it's not even close to a double through these periods right here. So what happens is the capital expenditures are going to be a lower percent of total revenue every single year going forward. And what's going to happen is that's going to drop into earnings per share. And you can see that earnings per share is expected to grow pretty well. It doesn't look like it's too good from 25 to 26, going from 715 to roughly 782. But I do think this is kind of undershooting just a little bit. I'm expecting 2026 to be somewhere around like 850, and I'm thinking 27 is going to be somewhere around like 1050. So I do think this earnings per share growth is going to be very, very good. And then if we go down to the valuation, like, price is what you pay and value is what you get. How is Amazon trading fundamentally? You can see right here, it says it's roughly 18% undervalued. And again, I don't just take things for what it is. I like to understand it and figure out like, hey, do I really think that's undervalued too? And in my opinion, the answer is a yes. So if we look at the price earnings ratio level, you can see for the last 3 years, it's in a clear downtrend up here starting at 71, and now we're trading at roughly 34 times earnings. So it's not an extremely cheap price, but I do think it's very close to intrinsic value. So based on revenue growing, earnings per share growing, getting in at a good foundational level, the company is spending so much on CapEx right now, and once the company becomes more efficient, all that profit's going to come to the bottom line because you're building out your data center, spending a lot of money. So once that spending slows down, that's going to hit the bottom line as earnings per share. And then you're also going to reap the rewards from this data center build out. So that is double bullish for the stock. And if you have a 1, 2, 3 year time horizon on Amazon, I think you're going to do very, very well. All right. So now we're going to go into two companies that I am extremely, extremely bearish on. I think these stocks are a bubble. I think they're going to crash. I think there's a lot of hype and euphoria behind them. And buying puts on them, I think you could potentially make a lot of money in 2026. So let me pull myself down and let's talk about this. And before we go any farther, you could see it's going to be Qubits. This is D-Wave. This company is a bubble in my opinion. Before we go any further, we have to talk about the last company here in just a second. For number 5, that is a company that is literally, it's like a United Health table pounder right now. Remember United Health when I was calling it out? Now it's up, 50, 60% from when I said I was buying it. This stock that I'm going to show you in just a second, which is the last one, I am extremely bullish on it. I think we're going to make a lot of money, and the stock is extremely, extremely undervalued. We'll talk about that one in just a second. Okay, so if we look at Qubits, if we look at D-Wave, let's go to a 1-year chart. Let's see how much this bad boy is up in 1 year. It's probably going to blow your mind. Ready for it? 3,000% this stock is up in 1 year. It went from roughly $1 a share to $36 a share. Now, if we just take a look at what's going on here, like what has D-Wave got going on that no one else has going on, you're going to be like, oh, that's what's happening with this company. So first thing we're going to do is go flip to the revenue, okay? Revenue looks great. You're going to be like, oh yeah, it's up and to the right. But understand that this is $24 million, $38 million, and $70 million. That is literally nothing for this company. We're talking in millions of dollars of revenue for a company that has a market cap of $12.89 billion. Now, here's the key thing. This is what you have to understand right here. What are they doing for earnings per share right here? Like, can you guys comment and tell me what is happening here? Because I don't understand why a company that is losing money in 2025, losing money in 2026, and is going to lose money in 2027, that's trading at a valuation level of $12 billion, not making any money. Quantum, as Jensen Huang has said, he's the CEO of NVIDIA. He has said that quantum is nowhere near being actually a realistic thing to scale out there. This is 100% a bubble. They're not making money. The revenue growth is probably going to be unsustainable. The stock is going to crash down. And yes, I know a lot of you guys probably made a lot of money on these stocks running up, but you simply got lucky. If you made a lot of money on the upside, take some profits, put a little bit in Adobe, put a little bit in Amazon, put a little bit in stock number 5 that we're going to get to in just a second. And of course, build your base portfolio like I talk about. And I did just drop my masterclass on YouTube, by the way. It's 100% free. I'll link it at the end of this video here because you have to watch that video. It's going to change your life. It's 40 minutes long of exactly how I do stocks and options. Trust me, you're going to want to watch that one until the end because it's really going to change your life. So, Qubits, 100% bubble. Now the next one, same category, Ionic. So this stock here in the last 5 years, let's take a look at how much this bad boy is up. 1 year chart, not 5. 1 year, it's up 315%. So this stock's not up as much as what D-Wave was because the market cap's already $21 billion. Like $21 billion is a lot of money for a company. Ready for this? For a company that doesn't make any money, and they're probably not going to make money for a long time. Like, look at this annual earnings per share right here. 2024, they lost $1.50 a share. 25 lost, 26 lost, 27 lost. Like, there's really no sign of getting this company to profitability. So why on earth are these stocks running up so much, so fast, to the absolute moon? Why are people buying them? Simply because it's just the hot stock right now. Everyone's buying it. They buy, you buy, everyone buys, your friend buys at work, your mom buys, blah, blah, blah. The stock just pumps to the moon. But trust me, this is a bubble, and usually things like this will crash. So I think that buying puts on Qubits and Ionic are good plays for 2026. Don't put a lot of your portfolio in it. Always have your ratios in check because we could be wrong. All right. So enough talking about the two stocks that we're going to buy puts on. So Adobe bullish, Amazon bullish, Qubits bearish, Ionic bearish. Number 5. This is the big dog. This is a company that I have some money in. I'm going to put more money into it. They just reported earnings, and the earnings were pretty good, but the stock went down. So that sets up opportunity for us. Like, think about it. If their earnings come in good, but the stock falls, it's like, wow, opportunity. Maybe we should buy. So you might have guessed it. It's going to be Meta, but let me explain to you my logic behind this, because maybe you're like, oh, I don't care about Meta. It already made a big move. I'm not buying it, whatever. Stick around for a couple more minutes and let me explain this to you. Meta stock is up 137% in 5 years. You're going to be like, well, Brandon, there's no more room for upside. Like, what are we going to do with that stock? Think you're really wrong on that one. Let's go over to the fundamentals. Let's break it down. Let's see what we got going on here. First, we're going to start off on estimates. We'll flip it to annual, and we'll see what we got going on. Take a look at this revenue growth. 160 billion, 200 billion, 230 billion, 270 billion. And I do think that the revenue growth is going to start to accelerate because of the major investments that they're doing right now in AI. And we'll talk about why the stock fell in a second, because it is about those investments in AI. They're going to start to reap the rewards from that. They're going to be able to bring new servers online, bring new compute online, and then rent out that compute to other people, kind of like what CoreWeave is doing, or just use the compute for themselves. So revenue growth is good. We get it. Let's go to earnings per share growth. Earnings per share growth, again, is good, but this is why the stock fell right here. It fell because of capital expenditures. Everybody is worked up about, oh my God, Meta is literally spending $100 billion in 2026 on CapEx. What is that as a percent of revenue? $100 billion to $234 billion, it's like 40%-ish of revenue for CapEx. Everybody is stressing out about that. Am I stressing out about that? No. I see that as a lot of opportunity, because what are they spending this money on? They're spending it on AI data center build out. They want to make their ads more efficient. Like Meta right now makes 99% of their business from ads. And I've personally ran ads before, and it is kind of hard to get ads to convert and be optimized and do really well. Zuckerberg was literally saying, look, you're going to be able to talk about something that you want to sell online to our AI. It's going to figure out who to target, the best way to do it, and the cheapest way to do it. And then everyone's just going to want to come advertise on Meta, whether that be with Instagram or Facebook or Threads, whatever it may be. Everyone's going to want to go advertise there because their ads are going to convert. They'll be able to charge more money for it. They're going to be able to get more ads. This is very, very bullish for the company in the long run, but they're simply just spending a lot of money on CapEx on it right now. Now, if we look at the valuation and we look fundamentally at what's going on with this company, you can see it says 30% undervalued right here. I do agree with that. Let's look at the price earnings ratio level. Take a look at what's happening right now. The stock fell. Price earnings ratio level is right there around 25. I think that this is very attractive for a company that's growing earnings and revenue as much as they are at a time of this massive AI capital expenditure. Once that CapEx slows down, again, I know I'm beating a dead horse right here, but once the CapEx slows down for the hyperscalers like Meta and Google and Tesla and Amazon, whoever, they're going to spend less money, so that means more earnings per share, and then the thing that they're spending money on, they're going to start to make money from that. So it's a double bullish situation for the hyperscalers. Maybe that'll be at the cost of NVIDIA, AMD, and TSM, but the hyperscalers are the ones that are going to win. That is the next leg in this race right here, and that's why I have Meta front and foremost as my number one company right now to buy and hold. If you have a couple year time horizon, I'm selling puts long duration. I'm using the premiums to buy shares. I am probably going to start buying calls on it depending on if it falls a little bit more or what the overall market does. But at the same time, you have to be realistic and in touch with what the market's doing overall, because the overall market's a little bit expensive. And if the market falls overall, it's going to be hard for these companies to run up at the time that the overall market's going down. So if you have a longer duration hold period, maybe a couple years, like this company, I talk about it, how my $1 million Schwab account, This one right here will probably make me 100K. United Health is probably going to make me 100K. Plus, I have my entire base portfolio of, the S&P, the NASDAQ, and whatever else I have in there that's just working in the background day after day after day. So I hope you got value from this video. Definitely like and subscribe. And don't forget about my 100% free masterclass. I'm going to link it right here above. It's 40 minutes long. The first 20 minutes lays the foundation. The next 20 minutes, I'm going to put you inside of what's going on, how I do stock options, and generate thousands and thousands of dollars every single month with it. You don't want to miss it. I'll see you guys there.